On 9/11, was it Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta guys who stopped Flight 93 from hitting its target?
No.
Was it undercover police officers or federal air marshals?
No.
Or security staff?
No.
Who was it? It was Todd Beamer, Jeremy Glick, and others who took the initiative in the grandest tradition of American citizen warrior patriots, said the Our Father, said let's roll, and fought in that cockpit for 11.5 minutes with razor blades to the death and kept Flight 93 from hitting its target. And from intelligence captured in the caves in Afghanistan early on in the war by Special Forces units, we are pretty sure that target was the White House. On January 8th, was it Special Forces Delta who stopped Loeffner?
No.
Was it a police officer?
No.
Was it Pima County Sheriff's deputy? I'm just asking the questions here. Remember, I'm a former cop. Was it security?
No.
Who was it? It was, of course, Daniel Hernandez, who kept pressure on Congresswoman Gifford's wounds. But even more so, it was retired Colonel Bill Badgers, who took a head wound himself and was, I think, the first to armbar Loeffner to the ground. Wow, that really sounds loud to me. Is that good for you?
Yes.
Yep, okay. It was Patricia Maish, 61-year-old Patricia Maish, who grabbed his magazine. She even called it a magazine. She didn't call it a clip. There are lots of guys who call it a clip. She's even technically correct in her terminology. Roger Salzberg, I believe, who made the difference. Joe Zamudio, also, who was carrying his weapon, drew his weapon, reholstered his weapon when he realized that Bill Badgers had disarmed Loeffner already. And throughout my interviews with the press, when they were asking me, well, should we reduce the size of magazines? I was like, no. You can reload real fast. I demonstrated how you can reload fast. You might have seen me on the news showing that with a small magazine. And I emphasized the point that Tucson's gun culture, Tucson's familiarity with weapons, I think made a real difference that day. I am just in awe of those folks, those heroes. I think they did a fabulous job. Just to be able to hear people in a crowd in a crisis situation like that and not shoot. I know of many officer-involved shootings where the officers end up with auditory exclusion. That is, they don't hear. Their ears blink, and they wouldn't be able to hear the things that Joe Zamudio said. So all of those folks are heroes and should be applauded and did a fantastic job, and I think Tucson has more than its share of such people. And that's very important to remember, because 2,000 years ago, the Center for Personal Freedom was in a different desert. But today, it's in this desert. Every attack on freedom, and I'm starting with the fact that America is, as Washington Lincoln said, the world's last best hope for freedom and individual liberty, a beacon for the world, without a doubt. And I've been in lots of countries and worked in lots of places, and there's no doubt in my mind about that. But Arizona has a special connection with that. Pearl Harbor, a day where tyranny attacked freedom. Did Arizona have a connection with that? The USS Arizona, right? No one forgets that, right? Where, on 9/11, where were the terrorists first noted? Arizona, by an FBI agent working in Phoenix. Hey, these guys are learning how to fly planes, but they're not learning how to land planes. Of course, he was told to go work on something else, but when you've been in intelligence as long as I have, most of the time the intelligence is not there or wrong, but then when you're right, nobody listens to you anyway because you're way too far outside the loop. If you think back to Billy Mitchell, everybody remember Billy Mitchell after World War I, who predicts the attack on Pearl Harbor and what he'd get for that? Demoted and court-martialed, right? So if you're really doing your job as an intelligence officer or a prophet, it's probably not going to go good for you. But that's just the nature of the bureaucracy. And the Japanese code was broken before Pearl Harbor, but did they listen? No. So, but that's beside the point of why you showed up here today. So, given Pearl Harbor, I'm just using 3 examples, but they're major examples, right, in our history. They're turning points in our history of preserving freedom against tyranny and slavery. Pearl Harbor, 9/11, January 8th. After states' rights and individual liberties were already being championed before January 8th by Arizona, correct? We were already in the news. And the Tea Party was at the center of that, right? And Trent and Jennifer take lots of abuse and hardship about that, and so do all of you, and I thank you for that. Okay? But that's what it means to be an American citizen. Okay? American citizenship was founded by citizen soldiers, citizen patriotic warriors standing up at the beginning for the country. Continental Army was fighting before there was a country. And after there was a country, they couldn't even get paid. Most of the time, they didn't have shoes. So this should be nothing new to us. And this is part of our heritage and part of our duty and our responsibility. So, given these 3 incidents and what I'm talking about, is there going to be another incident? Certainly there is. Is it likely that it's going to happen around here?
Why not?
Is this the epicenter for freedom and states' rights and individual liberty now? So if you didn't know why you're here, that's why you're here.